Thank you very much.
Senator Mendes, Senator Warren from Massachusetts is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So I want to ask specifically about military assault weapons like the one that was used on the 4th of July to kill 7 people in Highland Park. Now, Congress should reinstate the assault weapons ban to keep these guns off our streets, but we shouldn't be shipping them to just anyone overseas either. In fact, companies need license from the federal government to sell assault weapons overseas. These are called export licenses. But in 2020, the Trump administration made it easier to get that permission by putting the Commerce Department in charge instead of the State Department, where those permissions had always resided. This shift is important. The State Department has deep expertise in foreign instability, human rights abuses, and terrorism. The Commerce Department specializes in promoting U.S. industry overseas, even the gun industry. In the 2020 campaign, President Biden promised to reverse the Trump decision and put export control back with the State Department, but as of today, that has not happened. So, Undersecretary Estevez, how many billions of dollars in assault weapons sales has Commerce approved since it took over export control in March 2020?
I will have to get back to you on the exact amount, Senator. So I'll get you that.
Do you want to do an estimate? I think your records show.
I think the website shows 15 billion or something.
15.7 billion
across all types of weapons, not just assault weapons.
So Commerce approved $15.7 billion in weapons sales in its first 16 months on the job. And by comparison, the State Department, when the State Department was making these decisions, it approved $12 billion on average in the same time period, including some weapons that never got transferred to Commerce. So if you do the math, that's about a 30% increase. Now, that is a huge boon to the gun industry. The $15.7 billion in Commerce-approved exports is nearly as large as the current size of the entire $19 billion U.S. gun manufacturing industry. Export control law gives Commerce a lot of authority to disapprove license requests, including if such weapons sales threaten our national security or undermine our foreign policy. So, Undersecretary Estevez, how often since March 2020 has the Commerce Department actually denied the gun industry's requests to export these assault weapons?
So, Senator, a couple of things. And it's a small percentage. And again, I don't have the percentage off the top of my head. But can I answer a couple other points?
Well,
State Department is part of my review process. State Department can stop a sale.
I'm asking, now that you have the approval process, what have you done? How many have you disapproved in that time period? Do you know the number?
I do not know the number.
It's 0.4%. That is less than 0.5% of the applications are disapproved, which sounds a lot like the Commerce Department is rubber stamping these license applications, including to places like Mexico, where corruption puts these weapons in the hands of criminals, or the Philippines, where there are multiple reports of security forces shooting civilians. Now, President Biden has stated clearly that he supports cracking down on assault weapons, both at home and overseas. So let me ask, Undersecretary Estevez, can you explain how increasing assault weapons export licenses by 30% and turning down less than 0.5% of applications is consistent with the president's stated objectives? Is the Commerce Department working for the president or working for the gun industry here?
Senator, that also includes sales to people like Ukraine that are using those weapons against the Russians.
I have no doubt.
So this is an interagency process now that it's moved to Commerce. There's a power of the Department of State that brings states' jurisdiction to that discussion, the Department of Defense and the Department of Energy.
So
it's an interagency process that approves gun licenses.
Excuse me, Undersecretary.
It's not just the Commerce Department.
Excuse me. What happened is authority was transferred to the Commerce Department. And what has happened is that it has a minuscule disapproval rate and the weapons sales have gone up dramatically. Look, the Commerce Department is helping put more assault weapons in more hands, and this needs to stop. It's time to put overseas gun sales back in the hands of the State Department, where someone can exercise better judgment over it. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator Warren. Nobody on your side.